We know why we're here. To design the future of flight, inside and out.
To build tomorrow's technology in amazing ways.
And reshape the science of aerospace forever.
Around the globe, the people of Boeing are working together for the dreams of generations to come.
That's why we're here.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
Steny Hoyer.
Senator McCain.
Nancy Pelosi. Mitch McConnell.
Erik Prince.
John Boehner.
This bill was designed not to pass. This bill was designed to play political games.
This is not about assessing blame on Republicans. That would be not a bad thing, perhaps, but irresponsible. This is about including 4 million additional children under health care coverage. And it's a compromise. This was not the House bill, as you know, Britt. The House bill was substantially more expansive.
We will have the votes to sustain the president's veto.
Look, this is going to be a short-term controversy over trying to get this program right. And getting it right means providing health insurance for low-income children. There's no chance the Republicans and Democrats are not going to reach a compromise on this.
His administration says the same thing. He wants to sit down with you, and he's willing to talk.
He's never made that call. I haven't heard from him on that score.
Well, you guys got to get on the phone.
Well, we do. We talk about other things, but that hasn't been among them.
You haven't talked about children's health insurance?
We talked about children's health insurance when I called him to ask him not to veto it. And I told him at that time that I was praying for him. And he said, well, your prayers aren't being answered. And I said, well, I haven't finished praying, but I'm praying for the children.
And I schedule the bills, and I'm telling you, it will come to the floor. It'll come to the floor before November 16th.
And I think bringing this bill to the floor may be the most irresponsible thing I've seen this new Congress do this year.
Well, I think it's a bad idea. I have a lot of Armenian friends, by the way, and I've been to Armenia. I'm very knowledgeable about the country and its concerns. There's no question that this mass killing of Armenians did occur.
I've heard from the Secretary of State and others in the administration, but I've never heard from the President. Maybe some members have, but I, as Speaker, have not.
Several times this year in the House, you've passed resolutions, bills, to set a timeline for withdrawal from Iraq. Are you done with that for this year, though?
We don't know.
He was on the ground for well over a year there, and I know Senator McCain and myself point blank asked him and Bremer, do you have enough people over here? Because every time we would go back, Wolf, it would be worse than the time before. And President Talabani told me last week in Washington he thought they would have a reconciliation package by the end of the year. If they don't, then to me, the Maliki government would be a failed government, not just dysfunctional. We'd have to look at a new political strategy.
Are you going to bring that resolution up, the Kyle Lieberman resolution, in the House?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'm not going to bring it up. It could be brought up, but I'm not bringing it up. It's a sense of the Congress. As I say, this is never, what is the point?
His record is very clear that he ran in Massachusetts as a very liberal Republican. He said he didn't support President Reagan, said he didn't want to go back to the Bush-Reagan years, voted for a Democrat for president, supported a Democrat candidate here in New Hampshire. I don't think that it's appropriate to say, as Governor Romney did, that he's the only person that represents the Republican Party. In fact, he certainly doesn't represent the Republican Party that he characterized himself as such some years ago. I think an advocacy of opposing the line item veto is opposing what 43 governors of 50 governors have, taking to court so that you can preserve pork barrel projects within the city of New York.
But he needs to do something to get at Romney, and that's why you see him going after him. I expect to see a lot more of that going forward.
I don't want to leave unchallenged the Juan's rosy scenario about Al Gore's future in electoral politics. I think the chances are zero. First of all,
zero what?
Zero that he will get in.
There have been all kinds of people who want him to get into this race, but the truth is the Democrats are happy with their candidates.
There are some polls that show that of all of the environmental issues, global climate change is the top issue. But when you talk about overall, if you're asking them what is the most important issue to you as a voter, Global climate change comes way down. Environment, energy come way down.
I'm betting on the Obama upset, and here's why. Here's why, Britt. Kentucky beat number 1 ranked LSU yesterday in triple overtime. Oregon State beat number 2 California. The gods of college football are the gods of politics. Hillary is the favorite, but Obama has a good chance at an upset.
It has indeed, and by the way, when you whip it on someone, like she whipped it on the questioner, it's always good if they don't whip it back.
Correct and whip.
Give the pass a slip.
Brought to you by the Boeing Company.